All right, welcome back. We're on day 12 of Mendelssohn's Songs Without Words, Opus 67, number 1. We have about 99% of the piece together, and what I want to talk about today and move into and work on is phrasing and dynamics and bringing out the melody. What's really challenging about this piece is you have a very active left-hand line, and then you have this nice, beautiful melody soaring over it, but you actually have to bring it out. So that's going to be the focus of today's work. I'm going to start by playing a little bit and start working through it. So that's the first phrase. And the melody, I just want to play the melody alone so I have a better sense of it. And I'm keeping the fingering as if I were playing the other parts. Now here it's marked crescendo and a sforzando here, and then a piano. So the place in that first phrase that I want to be the loudest is, that's the loudest part of the phrase. So I'll usually try and plot where I want it to be loudest and then work from there. So let's see if I can achieve that effect. Pretty good. Now the next phrase, I'll play it alone. Same thing here, crescendo. So we have a 4-measure phrase followed by a 6-measure phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so it has this little extension on the end after this point. So that little motif happens 3 times at the end. So maybe I'll tier it because the first one follows this louder moment. And it's still marked forte here. Maybe a little less here. And then finally ending the phrase. So let's see if I can achieve that effect in the second phrase. Louder here, loudest, still forte. Coming down a little bit. Not bad, so we're getting a sense of the first 2 phrases together. Now, one thing I haven't spoken about, I'm generally speaking, just trying to play the left hand a little bit softer. I'm moving slower into the key by doing that. And it also is important to make note, because there's some crossing over between the hands, it's important that we keep the accompanying line when it goes into the right hand quiet, and the melody when if it goes into the left hand. I don't think it does. We need to keep that quiet. So for example, we need to make sure that that is louder because that's the pickup to the melody. But for example here, it's just a continuation of that line, but the right hand picks it up. So I need to make sure that it's voiced in a way that the 4 is louder. So for example here, the right hand picks up the accompanying line, but I don't want it to sound like, it needs to sound like that needs to be really quiet and separate. Same thing there. Same thing here. So I need this to be very quiet. Not too bad. So the next phrase is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 12-bar bridge. It's broken up into two, I want to say 6 measure phrases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, two 6 measure phrases, I want to say. And there's a couple crescendos that I want to be aware of, so I'll just play through it. Here the crescendo starts a little bit louder. Now coming down a bit. Crescendo. So there, I think I need to do a little bit more work on bringing out the melody because there's a lot of chords there. So just playing them out. So yeah, the first phrase is actually, the first phrase of the bridge is 4 measures, and then it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe 4 and 8, not 6 and 6. But there's some crescendos that I want to happen. So the first loud place, I really want to make sure that A comes out, because we were just on a G. I mean, it's a half step, so it's going to be tricky. And then the sforzando there, decrescendo. pianissimo, or piano. Also, some of my pedaling is causing some bleeding. And then on to the next phrase. So that's it for today. We're going to continue on doing a little bit more phrasing and dynamic stuff. And this is where the practicing gets really challenging because we're talking about making small adjustments, small refinements, but it's also where the real music starts to come out. So I hope you enjoy it, and we'll pick it up tomorrow.